This is Ron Rivera. You just heard him, Kyle asked him a question. He's a former head coach. He's a Super Bowl champion. We love to ask Ron questions about everything that's going on. Let's circle back to Chicago.
Well, very excited about the play of the quarterback. I really am.
Great.
But not just the quarterback, but the whole unit, the team as a whole, to be honest. Because when you look at them, they're kind of working their way already into regular season shape because a lot of their defensive guys are playing. A lot of those guys are getting geared up. And that's going to help the young quarterback out an awful lot. It really is.
Well, listen, Akbar made a great point to start the show that there's a lot of hype about Caleb Williams, deservedly so. He's got his own show on HBO and his USC, the #1 pick. Meanwhile, the guy drafted right behind him to the Commanders looks really, really good, doesn't have as much hype. Does he deserve it, Coach? How are you feeling about Jayden Daniels? Well,
Jayden's done a very nice job. If you watch what they're doing, Cliff Kingsbury's offense, he's spreading the ball out already. And you really haven't seen the whole offense because when you watch the things that they did, especially last night the other night against Miami, there was no real red zone offense being shown except for the quick throws, getting the ball out of his hands quickly. So he's hiding those things. A lot of quick passes in this game against Miami. That one was to Terry McLaurin, who's a tremendous offensive player and a big, big target for Jayden. So you're going to see him throw the ball to him an awful lot more.
Coach, now that you're here, you feel like sometimes he's like the grown-up at the table.
Sure.
Can you write us a permission slip to be excited about the rookie quarterbacks? Are we allowed to do it?
Yes, I really do think so, just because there's a number of them that are playing very, very well. I mean, Bo Nix, we just talked about, who's having a phenomenal start. But another guy that's kind of quietly going along about it has been Drake May. He's done some real nice things in New England. It's a new offense there. They brought in Jacoby Brissett, who's very familiar with this offense. It's one of those things that when you have a young player and you have a guy like a Jacoby Brissett who loves working with young guys, this guy, Drake May, is going to make an impact at some point this season.
Okay, so while we want to lead with optimism and excitement about the rookie quarterbacks, to circle back to Caleb Williams, though, some of the things that you do read at times is that he's throwing too often out of the pocket. He's holding onto the ball for too long. Are we leaning too much into the too much this, too much that?
Yes.
What are some things that maybe he could fix by the regular season?
Oh, exactly that. And I think the thing that everybody has to understand is the style offense they're going to play, they really haven't been showing a lot of it. Again, you look at what they do, and it's very much what they did with McVay. And a big part of it is just because of the reason of the offense. It's about spreading the ball out, getting the quarterback moving outside the pocket every now and then, and it's about making the plays downfield. He has the whole package. He really does. This young man has the skill set to move the ball, throwing it quickly, making good decisions, holding on to the ball, extending the play in the pocket, throwing the ball downfield, and making those explosive plays. And then on the move, he can improvise. He's very patient. You pointed it out during this early in the segment about a guy that has the ability to make people miss and then throw the ball downfield.
Yeah, Coach, let's talk preseason because there's been a lot of chatter, too, about, we had a good conversation last week about starters playing in the preseason. We know Nick Sirianni, he was saying, look, they get a lot of work in practice. We get a lot of these joint practices where they get to see some of that work. And then on the flip side, you get a guy like Antonio Pierce. He goes out and say, look, if you're healthy, you're going to play. You're going to play. Where do you sit on that?
Well, again, there are certain players that you got to be really aware of and really careful with, and those are the guys that don't play as often, okay? But they get a lot of work during the preseason. So I see what Nick's saying, but the thing that you want to see is especially when you have a new coordinator, what these guys do. Do they react very well to this new coach? So we got to play the starters to find out if they come to the sideline, do they have rapport with this guy? Can they tell them what they're seeing on the field? And does he understand them? And does he put them in the best position to win? So playing young guys, playing veteran guys, a lot of it is dependent on your team. You got a veteran team, you're not going to play them as much. You got a younger team, a new coaching staff, you should play them a little bit more because you've got to find it out exactly who they are. I can remember one time when I was a coordinator back in San Diego, and I did this. One year we didn't blitz at all. Didn't blitz at all in the preseason, okay? We wanted to hide what we were going to do.
Sure.
It took us 3 weeks before we started blitzing well. So the next preseason, every game we blitzed. I mean, we blitzed. I got confronted a couple times by other coordinators on the other team that came over and said, what are you doing? It's the preseason.
Take it easy.
Well, yeah, we're practicing. We're learning to play the game. So to me, that's what it's about, is what do you need to do? Do it for your team. Do it for your reasons, not for anybody else's. If you want to blitz, blitz. If you want to throw the ball deep, throw the ball deep. I'll say this too. When you watch the way Sean Payton is coaching right now, he's coaching Bo Nix to win.
Sure.
He's playing. He's using his offense. He's giving this young man an opportunity to grow within his system because he's doing those things. He played his starters in the preseason. The idea is to give this kid an opportunity to grow and develop. That's what you've got to do. It's about your team.
Yeah, it's a rhythm. It's a dance. It's a cadence. It's a movement thing. And if you're not doing it until the lights are on, until the regular season, it can take some time to get into the rhythm.
Rod, I think it's amusing that maybe some of the younger viewers only know you as a coach. And you're this gentleman, this erudite, thoughtful football man. They don't have memories of you as a player. I do. Make no mistake. Ron was a linebacker on the greatest defense of all time and would take your head off if he needed to across the middle. To that point, we saw over the weekend Patrick Mahomes threw an around-the-back pass against a professional defense to Travis Kelce. How would that have played in the 85 Bears locker room or maybe in another era?
In another era, well, I'll tell you right now, Buddy Ryan would have called everybody up on the defense, brought him in and said, don't ever let him do that to us again. Next time he does something like that, he better be on. I mean, that was the mentality. And you know it because you cheered for guys like us for whatever reason. You're insane about that.
Very therapeutic.
Yeah, but I actually did think that afterwards, when they were talking about it, they were all joking and saying, I actually think they were covering it up because there was a level of potential disrespect that you're out there doing that to us. But I feel like any other team, especially a team that had it done to him, be like, we're not ever seeing this BS again. Like, somebody's got to do something about this, right?
Oh, without a doubt. And, you know, you can feel that sense from the defense when you watch them after the play happens. They kind of look around at each other, and you can see they're all thinking, you know, if there's a chance, man, we got to hit him. We got to drill him.
Well, how infuriating is this as a defender? Because now you're chasing him, and you're not just going after his body anymore. You are trying to have your arms out like a basketball defender because it is a behind-the-back pass, and you got to have your wingspan out to maybe tip something that you might not know is coming from back there?
Absolutely. And again, that's what's happening is quarterbacks today are so nifty, okay? I mean, they have the ability to make people miss.
Yeah.
You know, they're no longer the stand back, be the target in the pocket anymore. That's kind of what this game is coming to is that, again, your quarterback has to have the ability to move around, extend plays, and then be creative enough to make plays. Patrick Mahomes just took it to another level, throwing the ball behind his back.
You know what this is like? This is kind of like, and tell me if you agree with this, it's almost like being up 60 points in a game and you go for a touchdown, another touchdown. It's just it is a level of disrespect that's like, what are we doing here? Do you agree with that? Like it was lightweight disrespectful.
No, it really was because, but again, people always say, well, if you don't want us to score, stop us.
Stop us.
You know what it is? It's like these cocky defensive coordinators are constantly blitzing the preseason. I mean, what is with those?
How dare they?
Right? Come on, what are you doing? It's preseason.